Okay, we're talking with Dr. Nevil Speer from Western Kentucky University, and we're at the NIAA conference and talking about a lot of consumer issues, and wanted to just get your thoughts on the theme of the conference this year, the importance to the industry as we look at some of these topics, and then maybe some of the key points that you've heard or discussed with the participants so far today.
Okay, John. Yeah, I mean, the theme is really about the consumer as a stakeholder within our food production system, and is obviously with an application towards animal agriculture, and the intent was really to provide a sort of a far-reaching perspective in looking out 40, 50 years in terms of our challenges. But also then to be very comprehensive and look at that at all different types of layers of our system and what is going to occur in terms of meeting consumer needs.
What are some of the major challenges that you've heard discussed today in terms of our communications, our image with consumers both domestically and internationally?
Well, probably the biggest challenge that we deal with is that we deal in little soundbite snippets, and a lot of the issues that we deal with are relatively complicated, they're complex, they involve a lot of science, and it's very hard to really communicate with consumers in that soundbite kind of a world. I think probably our fallback position always is that we need to educate consumers, and if that's one of the takeaways of today was that's maybe not the best approach. It's really more to partner with them and embrace them and understand that probably their concerns are more about ethics and that we understand their values.
That really did come through in some of the presentations this morning, and we face dual challenges in that we need to produce more food to meet the needs of a growing population.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, there seems to be a perception out there that the systems that we use to increase productivity, increase yields in animal agriculture don't mesh well with ethical concerns.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem, is there's that huge disconnect, and where we're always kind of fighting this perception versus reality, and we just probably need to do a little better job of positioning ourselves in terms of sort of, again, being a partner with consumers and making sure that they understand what it is we do and why we do it, and then listening back also. Yeah.
Overall, and really outside of the conference and even the consumer concerns, but with the kind of market trends that we've seen lately and the record prices for cattle, but also the tremendously high input costs and a lot of challenges for producers. What are some of the maybe overlying trends or maybe any red flags that you see when you look at where the market's been headed so far this year?
Well, it's interesting because that's one of the things we talked about this morning, right, is in terms of commodity prices and in monetary policy. I think the biggest issue that we continue to deal with in agriculture is the cost of capital, or the capitalization that's required to continue to operate. And as long as prices continue to ratchet up, and that includes input prices, and then we have volatility all around that, it's just another push towards consolidation in order to operate within that type of environment.